Work on your relationship first. Make sure that's dialed in before you go into business, because if you think every day is going to be, we just click, man, there's more days we don't click, right? But it took decades for us to understand that that's just part of it. If she gets irritated or I get irritated, that is part of it.
Welcome to the Raquel Show. This show is for entrepreneurs who want to play bigger in business and in life. And today I have a very special guest, actually two guests who I met a year ago. It's amazing to see how much things can change when you actually play bigger in a year, right? It wasn't too long that I met Rose at our women's event and then later met Steven at another event. And at our Play Bigger event, they participated at a high level that you could not forget who these people were. And I absolutely love how they grow together, and they are top agents in Northern California, and they've formed a team together. They have over 20 years of experience, and this duo is hands-on, attentive, and goes above and beyond, not only for their clients, but in everything that they do. And I cannot wait for you guys to meet this powerhouse couple. Welcome to the show, Rose and Steven Gonzalez.
Wow.
Hello.
What's up? Thank you so much. We are honored to be on this podcast.
Yeah, thank you. That was great.
I am so honored to be partners with you guys, and I want to dive right into it. You know, partnerships, speaking of partnerships, they aren't easy, and neither is marriage. So how did you guys, let's take it back so that the audience knows, that whoever's listening to this on YouTube or listening to this on the podcast, how did you both decide to get in business together?
So, I actually grew up in real estate. My mom was a realtor, so I grew up in the industry. I got my license when I was fresh out of high school, in and out of the industry. And, in 2018, we had our fourth child and decided, actually, it was Steven who decided or told me hey, you should get back into real estate. And so I did. And then, he decided, during the COVID era that he wanted to leave his construction job. And it was a perfect fit because it was a time of growth for us. But, we actually have more of a past together to be able to make this partnership work, because there's just so much that we learned together from our relationship on a personal level that we take into our business.
Yeah. So Steven, you left a construction job, stable income. How did you guys get over the fear of both being entrepreneurs? You guys have a family, right? Kids, responsibility. And Rose had mentioned, what you guys did in the past actually helped you guys come in business together. So elaborate on that.
Well, there's no fear. Why? I'm 42. She's 41. I met her when she was 12. I was 13. We've been through so much in life to know that we're going to be okay. If we keep doing what we're doing, no matter what we do, we work as a team like we always have, we'll be okay. Right? So for me to walk away from a construction job, most people aren't going to do that. I did have some, I don't want to say doubts, but I don't want to say fears either.
Hesitation?
A little hesitation of, I have it so good. Mm-hmm. I'm walking away from a 6-figure a year income and growth and pension and 401k, and I could be a leader in construction as well. I was starting to kind of evolve into that, right? So why leave that? Because the 12 years I was in it, there was always something inside of me saying, this isn't for you. Since day one, the very first day I showed up on the job, I was like, ooh, but you kind of conform to it, and something in your head is saying, you have it good, stick it out. So I made the best of it and I grew with it. But every time there was a layoff, every time I had some time to myself, I said, that's it. I need to find something else, right? And I always looked to Rose as, maybe to my 30s, I started recognizing all the things Rose was doing to put herself in uncomfortable situations to grow as a person. And I was proud of her But I wasn't that. I don't need to do that. I want to start another business. I want to start this business. I want to write children's book. I want to sell CrossFit shirts. I want to do Mary Kay. I want to do real estate. I want to do loans. I want to do all this shit. I'm like, cool. That's not me. I'm going to continue doing construction, and I got your back no matter what. And she's got my back too. And we've been having each other's back since we were kids, right? So when I finally said, this is it, enough is enough, I walked away in 2019, the very end, right before COVID, okay, right before the pandemic, right before the shutdown. And that was so hard, just mentally, to shift from what I was doing to business, to trying to be a parent with the kids at home and to not lose my shit and to learn technology. There's so much going on, and Rose always had my back. Thankfully, she always had my back. And we've always worked good together. But the one thing I have with her is she's not going to turn her back on me. So she's very patient. She sees me through just like I would do to her. No matter what, I'm going to lift her up. And she's had to do that during this transition in my life and through failure. And what I've learned in the past, it doesn't matter. You keep going, even when you want to quit, and just things tend to work out. 2 years later, I'm very thankful. I'm still have so much more to do, but I know there's no quit. And I know with that, we as a team are going to achieve some amazing things.
I love the mindset. And I love how you guys come together, especially if you guys can get through 2020 with kids being, leaving a job, and understand the stress hike of all of that and the hesitation of why you would leave a six-figure job. But now you guys come together. How do you guys decide to share the responsibility of a real estate business? And how do you ensure that you guys have collaboration and leverage your different skill sets?
Yeah. And that's a learning curve for us. It's something that we're definitely still working on. Steven is learning a lot of different things, and his strengths are different from mine, which is awesome because, that's how partnerships are. You have someone that's strong on the operations side, and you have someone that's strong in the customer facing side, or, different things. And so we have to do a little bit more trial and error. And so, with having a husband and wife team working together all the time, you have to have patience and lead by example. And I know in the beginning, there was a lot of things that he wanted to do. I want to do this and I want to do that right now. And I'm like, honey, you just have to be patient and just watch and learn how things go. And you'll learn it kind of like on job training, right? Mm-hmm. So he's learning what he's strong at, but at the same time, he's learning new skills that he didn't know he was strong at. And so we just have to talk about okay, this is what you're good at. Let's focus more on doing that. He's really good with people. He's good at talking. He's good on video. So let's build this self-esteem around what you're good at. And then we'll add little things each time. Everybody wants to just jump into the business and learn everything, but there's just so much stuff in this business you can't learn overnight. And in the beginning, he struggled with, he would meet with clients and show them houses and then write the offer, but he wasn't giving himself grace after that. He was like, I want to learn this whole process, but he didn't see the picture of how much he's grown in the year. And so we just continue to have conversations around, hey, you're very good with people. Let's start here. Then let's add this. Let's then add that. And so I've been very thankful that he's such a helpful husband too, because he allows me my space to finish what I need to do. And he's more than willing to pick up things at home. And that's a big thing with husband and wives doing business, because if, I have to do something with work, he gives me that time to be able to finish it. He'll go pick up the kids and he'll cook, and he's an amazing cook. He'll clean. And then when he's busy, I do that. And I hope I try to do that as much as I can. He's better at it than I am. And
so there's a couple things that I want to reiterate that I think the audience, there was a lot in what you just said. And I think it's what makes you guys amazing leaders, and your team is very blessed to have people like you. You cannot learn any business overnight. And oftentimes where I see team leaders fails or where I see business owners fails is they want to shove every single training from all over with no roadmap to their agents. They want to learn the buy side. They want to learn open houses. They want to learn YouTube. They want to learn social media. And then they want to learn the listing side, right? And by the time like they learn all that, they're just confused and paralyzed on how they actually can succeed in the business. So I love how you like break that down, because I think it's a skill set when you can actually map out the roadmap to success for your team members and say, like, I get that you are hungry and you want to learn everything, but I'm going to take you to a process that for sure will guarantee you success. Right. And then, so let's think about the flip side. How do you guys handle disagreements and conflict in your business? Because don't tell me that it's all rose and gravy, right? Like it's all butterflies.
Oh yeah, no, totally. I think, for us, we've learned so much. I mean, we've been together since we were 12, right? And so when we have disagreements, we have to kind of walk away and just kind of maybe do something on our own for that day and then come back and talk about it. Because, like if we sit there and really try to like bicker it out, it will escalate. So we've been very good about like, hey, let's, kind of you do your thing for a couple hours, I'll do my thing, and we'll talk about it and figure out how we can overcome what we're bumping heads about.
Steven, what has been some of the biggest challenges you guys have faced together running business and life together, and how did you guys overcome them?
It's too much to wrap. I could literally talk nonstop all day because there's too much to unwrap. But you said life and business.
Let's say business. How did you, like a lot of people that are listening to this, we have couples that will probably listen to this that are in our community, right? Partners that are in business together. I have lots of partnerships that are in our community. What have been the biggest challenges that you guys have faced running business together?
I would say, like Rose was saying earlier, let's find our strengths and that complement each other. And it's cool because, we kind of know how we complement each other, and there's nothing to be ashamed of with each other. If I have anything going on in my head, I could speak up. She's got me, and vice versa, right? We're each other's biggest support. So finding what I'm good at and my struggles of I shouldn't be doing this, but what do I have myself to compare with? Someone that's been in the business since she was very, very young. So I'm always on my head, like, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And then reminding myself over getting that experience, like, she's been doing it forever, and her giving me that grace to kind of trip and fall and help me when I need, and just giving me that patience. The biggest thing is just patience with each other. Another thing, why we're so successful, another thing Rose was saying is all clean. Okay, she cleans. What do? It's 5:00. It's crunch time. We got to get dinner ready. We got to get Elijah, pick him up from school. We're both knee deep in work. Who's doing something that's more priority? Rose, what are you doing? Well, I'm going to be on a call with a client, or I'm doing a contract, or whatever it is. What am I doing? I'm just doing a video. I need to stop that video and go get dinner and get Elijah so she could get the priority stuff done. And there's no, but my job's more important. No, we work as a unit. We both decide what's more important. And I'm going to go do what I need to do so she can get done, and vice versa. Yeah. If she needs to do that, she'll let me do that.
And I think it's really important to put ego aside, right? Mm-hmm. And especially in a husband and wife team, like he says, like, when you get into a place where you're like, my job's more important than what you're doing, that's where things just go south. Like everybody's job is important, but what is a priority? What's going to be a driver for our business? And so, he's really good at that. He literally is very good at looking at the clock and saying, hey, it's 5:00. Like, what do you want to do? Me, I'm like zoned in. I'm like, like a robot almost, right? And so, it's very rewarding to be able to work with your significant other. You just have to really communicate a lot and have the patience. Like we want to show our kids patience. So lead by example. So when you're working with, your significant other, you guys have to communicate and just be patient with each other.
Yeah. They say the biggest arguments or where things fall off is lack of communication. whether it's in a client transaction or journey, right? Or in marriages or kids, when we make assumptions and it's always usually a lack of communication. And I love how you guys said, you guys work as a unit, because you understand that your goals are aligned. You understand that there is no ego. You understand the patience of it. And, we're not going to be perfect, but we understand like what priority is because we have the same goals, right? So how do you guys balance, I guess, work-life balance, and not get involved too much into work, or is it okay, right? Because every couple is different. This is what I want the audience to know. Hey, we're going out to dinner because I know Brad ran our mortgage company for a while in California and I ran the real estate side, but we'd often go to date night and we would be talking about, are we funding on this deal, right? Because at that time that was priority. So how do you guys show up not only for your team? How do you manage, the business and the life aspect of it?
Well, one of the cool things that we have going on, obviously, is our YouTube channel. And we do this thing called Top Things to Do in X City. And for us, I find it fun because we're it's a day date. We get to go out and try different things. We go to lunch, but we're recording what we're doing. And so we literally get to do a day date whenever we go out and shoot video in the community. So we don't necessarily do date nights or weekends and stuff, but we get to do that kind of stuff in the daytime. It sounds stupid, but
I love it.
We appreciate that time. We do our morning routine together. We'll wake up, we'll read on the couch together, separately. But then also when we travel, go to a Play Bigger event, that's kind of our time alone too. But he's really good at making the relationship stronger. He's continuously always, the one in the back, we'll be working knee deep and he'll just come up to me and say, I love you. You mean all the world to me. And he just really brings that into our day-to-day thing. And, very grateful for that because not a lot get that attention.
Yeah. Well, can I ask you a question, Raquel?
Yeah.
You've come a long way in your journey. At your busiest time, I'm sure you're extremely busy now, but starting to achieve where you're at now, did you have a lot of free time?
No.
Did you create free time, or was it there was just too much to building what you're trying to build that it's this is kind of priority right now? Did you go through that?
We had intentions for sure. But during the time when we were in seasons, and I believe that there are seasons to anything, whether it's investing, buying stuff together, running companies, we didn't have a ton. We took one of our Bryce, our oldest, we had a crib in the office. We had an office, we had employees, we had people. He, like I said, he ran the mortgage side. We were in the same office and I was running the real estate team. And poor Bryce, but I don't say poor Bryce because I do believe that what your kids see as far as hard work actually translates to their goals and what they envision for their life.
And so I'd like to think that we're going to scale so big that we could grow our team and give them more of the responsibility. And me and Rose could go sip pina coladas on the beach and just answer a couple emails. I really think with more success comes more problems, more opportunities. And you just keep AI is here to give us more time. I think it's really creating us to scale, but there's never going to be more time. It's just, we could do more. So let's do more now. We're in 2 years of doing this. There's not many date nights, but we spend every day together, morning and night. If she has to go somewhere, I have to go somewhere. It's for a short time and we miss each other. We love each other. Right. But
we don't call me while he's gone.
We enjoy doing what we do. So why put that on hold for a week? When I'm on vacation with her, we enjoy it for 2 days. And then the third day, I'm like, man, all I'm doing is drinking, sleeping in, eating too much, sleeping, and you break that routine. I start to crave getting back to our routine. Yeah. So after 3-4 days, I'm like, I need to get back. Why? Because our routine is wake up early, read, go to the gym, work, and spend time with the family. It's very kind of routine and consistent. And we think clear. We're happier when we're doing that. Now, if I was trying to run away from something, a job I did not like, I'd be searching for time off. I almost am excited for Mondays to hit because that's when me and her could work as a team again. What can we achieve in this week? So we're happy with doing what we do. And once in a while, we'll do a quick date at a restaurant or something.
I think it's really cool with what you said. I think that's a mic drop for those that are listening. You might have to rewind that, because I think that is something that I've realized over time is how you define work or integration is of work-life balance, right? For a lot of people, they hate work. They say more than 90% of Americans hate what they do. When you love what you do and you love growing people, or you love growing business, or you love growing together, like, it doesn't feel like work. Yeah, we do have hard days. We do have high stress in this business. But when you actually have to feel like you can separate the two, I feel like real estate, and I've said this for so long, is that real estate is a lifestyle. You either enjoy it or you don't, because it's not a 9-to-5 job. It is not a job if you are going to think it's a job. It is a lifestyle that you embrace with your family.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, there's just so many lives that we're changing in the business. I mean, and to be able to do it together and really experience what we do is such a blessing.
I love it. What advice would you guys give to those that are listening that may be thinking about bringing in their significant other to the business, or being married together and they want to go in business together? What advice would you guys give to those that are listening?
Well, first you want to ask, how do we get along as a team already in our household? How do we manage our house? How do we manage our kids? Do we bump heads? Are we 1 foot in, 1 foot out? And we're thinking, maybe if we do this, we'll rekindle something. Sometimes people have kids. Maybe that'll bring us stronger. Work on your relationship first. Make sure that's dialed in before you go into business, because if you think every day is going to be, we just click, man, there's more days we don't click, right? But it took decades for us to understand that that's just part of it. If she gets irritated or I get irritated, that is part of it. Because I guarantee you, any partner that I work with, we are going to have conflict. Yeah. But who have I had the most conflict with in my life over 30 plus years? My wife. We've been through so many ups and downs in our lives that we know that's just a part of life. And because we wouldn't have been successful if we did this in our 20s, we weren't ready yet. Right. But over time and maturity, and really, really being a unit, and then creating a household that we managed really well, then we were ready to go into business together. So just make sure you guys work good together already. Now, when you guys are a team, like let's say an example like me and Rose, she has that experience. She's patient with me. She helps me. She's not like, come on, why don't you know yet? She doesn't put me down. She lifts me up. And work good together. I lift her up too. I always stop. Like, we're in love. Like, I flirt with her every single day. I kiss her every day. There's something inside of me that says, say, I love you, give her a kiss. That's just wired in me. And she's less wired to do that. So I make sure we always keep that fire lit. That's it too. So we are in love with each other more now than we've ever been, even though we work together nonstop and do everything together. It's just getting stronger and stronger. And if I didn't think that was already the case before we started, I wouldn't have joined business with her.
Yeah. One of the questions that I get from people that are married is, how do you guys, and I've seen this just even knowing you guys in a short period of time, is how do you guys ensure that you guys grow together and not one person outgrows the other?
I think it is more or less like, whoever is learning something, you want to share that information with the other. So like, my biggest thing is when there's a success in one area, say like we had a success with a client because of something Steven did, we utilize that as like a team success, right? It's not like, this is my client, this is your client. It's like, let's do this together. Whoever grew this channel, this is ours. So it's like more or less like not looking at who's doing what, but what you guys are accomplishing together, and making sure that the other person is still part of whatever it is that you're working on. It's a partnership. It's not like you're doing this and you're more successful. No, it's we're doing this as a team. Everything I do, everything that has my name on it is yours. Everything you do that has your name on it it's ours. Like there's no mine, there's no his, it's ours. Our YouTube channel, whoever started it in the beginning doesn't exist. It is our channel. This is what we do together. You know what I mean? It's more or less like more of a title of who does what. I think it's very important to just keep it as a whole, as a unit.
I'm curious, a lot of people invest in themselves, they invest in business. For a couple that is both in business, right, and married, do you guys ever invest in other things outside of business or go to seminars or go to things that maybe you guys can
play
share?
Bigger?
Yeah.
We do. And he's actually newer to that part. I mean, I've always loved going to like seminars and stuff to be around big thinkers. And so last year, he actually got a piece of that with me. We went to Tom Ferry Summit and he was blown away by it. So we went and did that together. We did Play Bigger together. A lot of the training online, we like to do it together. We're going to Tom Ferry again in Dallas in August. And then we're going to Reels Rise Conference in October together. So I think it's very important. And it was at your Play Bigger event where I heard your keynote speaker say that you want your significant other, even if they're not in business with you, to come to these events so that you guys think the same, you guys have the same goals, because what you do in business is always going to fall through to the family side, right? Mm-hmm. And so when you have a husband and wife thinking the same and having the same goals and hearing it however they need to, I think it makes so much more of an impact on being able to reach your goals. So I think both of us doing events together are huge.
What's next for Rose and Steven?
Oh my gosh, so much.
Whatever we say, it's going to be different in 5 years, right? I always tell even my kids, just get started in something. You might think you want to do this, but the thing is, if you don't do anything, you're going to be stuck. If you do something, it might lead to something completely different, but you're not going to know unless you try. So, I mean, we've been focusing on YouTube the last year and a half. And for people out there that think it's easy, it's just like door knocking. It's just like farming. It's just like open houses. You might get lucky, but really it takes time and consistency, right? So we went, I don't want to say all in on YouTube, but a big focus was on YouTube in 2023. And then finally we got our first call. It's like, is this a scam? Is this a real person? It was a real person. And to today, just, maybe 8 months later, we have a lot of business from YouTube, right? So
I want you guys to share your YouTube channel, because if you guys don't follow them, you should.
Teach, let's give back. What have we received in life, right? I think the word's reciprocity. What have we gotten? What are we willing to give back? And I know you talked about it on the stage. There's enough business for everybody to collaborate. And I've learned from experience that when you're not selfish and you don't hoard things and you give back, you receive. Mm-hmm. So any success we've had, being mostly through YouTube and Instagram, we are willing to ask our teammates, ask anybody that talks to us, teach for free, maybe create a course.
We've even had agents outside of our team, outside of our brokerage, where we've been like, hey, come over, we'll go over this with you. This is how we did it. And we really like that community of collaboration, helping each other, because there's something that we know that we can help you with, and there's something that that you can help us with. And, without that type of collaboration, you're going to be stagnant. So we're always looking to give value to people, because we know that the people that we're going to come across is going to have some type of value back for us.
Love it all. Where can people connect with both of you guys?
We are on Instagram and YouTube at Living in Northern California.
And we are going to put that in their show notes so that you guys can all, who is listening and watching this on YouTube, you guys can all connect and follow them.
This has been so awesome, Raquel.
Yes. And as we wrap up, that there is always one question that I ask every guest that comes on the show is, what do you guys do to play bigger in business and in life?
Live happy, live a life of gratitude, and just really go out there and You know, we think of real estate as how can we make an impact in people's lives? This is not about looking at pretty houses and doing videos and, you know, all these things that people see on social media, but it's really about the lives that we're changing, whether it's a seller, buyer, you know, the things that are happening in their lives, or, you know, just the people that we're impacting online.
What we've learned, let's raise the next generation up right. You know, the younger people look at the older people like, all you do is tell me this and this. And I get it now because, you know, you've lived through experience. I want to give back. I want to speak up. Anybody that thinks they can't do it, I want to be the voice for them. That's my purpose, is to speak to the people that think it's too hard to walk away from a job. How did you guys do it? Well, it's not that easy. We all have a story. We need to speak up and tell it so we could bring people up, because there's a lot going on out there. But what's going on in here? How's the market? Market's great. We create our own market, you know? So we want to be that energy out there to other people. We want to grow this community. We want to help people. That's the biggest thing. That's how we're going to play bigger and use our voice.
I so appreciate both of you, you know, crossing paths in my lives. I just love interviewing dynamic couples that actually grow together. You guys are living examples of how to build amazing things, whether it's family, business, health, life. Like, you guys do it all. And I just want to say thank you so much for being on the show. And I cannot wait to keep playing bigger with you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.